Cowboys back, welcome back to the channel. This is another episode of the School of Tarkov series, and in today's episode I'm going to teach you how to get around customs and extract, a couple tips and tricks along the way, and ultimately how you can escape from Tarkov. Let's go. So when you load into customs, you'll need to check whether or not you're on the east or the west side of the map. I can tell that I'm on the far west side of the map currently because I have this here, the customs building right next to me. Players also call this Big Red. So if you can see a train line here, this big red building, as well as this little sort of tower, some power lines, and then the train yard here, you will know exactly where you are. So you're on the far west side of the map currently. Next to Big Red as a point of interest, there are here these little garages, little storage unit, storage wars looking area here, and there is no further point than this on the map. If you spawn on the other side of the map, this will be a permanent extract for you. This area here is the crossroads. Now, if I was to follow this road all the way down from the crossroads section, I will pass these garages here, past the big red building. I'm heading over here towards the train track. I know now that I'm about to hit the river section of the map. If I was to carry on going all the way down here, I would eventually reach the ZB extracts that are in the far eastern corner of the map, right down in the bottom, sort of southeastern corner. So if you spawn on this corner of the map, you can find your bearings pretty quickly by looking for the big red building over here, this main road that runs all the way through the map, and then you'll also be able to see the stacks from the factories, which are in sort of the middle area of this map. It's worth noting there are a few ways to cross this river section, which is the first kind of danger zone that you'll run into if you do spawn on this side of the map. You can go low here in the ground, you can go low over on the south side on the ground. You've got the high option here across the bridge, and then north of the bridge as well, you have another low ground crossing on here. Be aware, whichever crossing you do take, you are kind of exposed in some way. Up here on the top, you can move cover to cover, and this is my preferred way of crossing. Down in the low grounds, you do make yourself a little bit of a target for people if they were up here to shoot down on you. So customs is actually pretty easy to get your head around because on one side of the river there is the main customs building and this little train line here. To the south we have all of the factory units, and then to the north we have this forested wooded area. If, for example, like me, you've spawned in on this side of the map, which is the big red customs building itself over here, then your extracts are typically going to be all the way on the opposite side of the map. You can easily get to that other side of the map by following this road in some way. Obviously, if you're walking down the middle of the road, you're asking to get shot. However, you can dip in here the forest and run pretty much the whole way across the map and get to your extracts on the other side. If you were to spawn on the other side of the map, all you have to do is keep this forest on your right hand side as you're running the whole way down. You follow this road, hit this bridge, you can go low ground or above the bridge, whichever you prefer, and hit the crossroads section in the far western corner of the map. At the first junction here, this here, if you're a scav, is Sniper's Roadblock. There is a smuggler's boat just down here. If you were to follow this road here all the way south, this here is RUAF Roadblock, all the way down this road to the end. Your first junction that you come up to here on this road will take you to the dorms building. This is a high loot area and typically where a lot of PvP happens on the map. On the west-hand side, there is a 3-story building, this sort of in this L shape. Plenty of loot on here. Your first kind of main landmark in this north area here. You will be able to see this sort of tower building behind it as well in some angles, kind of showing you that this is roughly where the dorms are. There's a 2-story on the east side as well. Now if you were to follow past the 2 customs buildings here into the forest, into the north, you will see this little dirt track here, right at the back of the 3-story dorms, where there's a red gate. That is a sometimes open, sometimes isn't type of extract, and as you can see right now, there is no car here to extract. It's not available for me this raid. Any car extract as well typically requires you to pay the driver to get you out. Most people, what they do is inside their container, you know, on their person, they will keep, say, 5,000-6,000 rubles, etc., so they can pay a vehicle extract if they need to in order to get out. Looking at these two white towers and the two red towers, this is the first construction area here next to this bus stop area as well. Just be careful. There is a sniper spawn on there, sniper scav that likes to try and take you out, so just be aware of that. And then around this low ground area here as well, there's also scav spawns and such as well. To the south, which is around where some of these cranes and such are, this here, we're coming towards what's called Stronghold. This is a fortified building with sort of mounted weaponry on it, and you have the chance of having sort of scav bosses and stuff spawning here, as well as in the dorms area and one of the places that I'm about to show you in a minute. So for landmarks in the south, we have just on the opposite side of wall here, there is a little bus stop station. This is where the RUAF roadblock is, where you see this sort of exposed ironworks here. This here is known as Crack House, another building that you can get into in the south, and then this here is the Stronghold building. When you see this building here in the south, you'll know that you can no longer progress any further down here. There is a sniper scav down there that you're unable to see, and he will take you out if you try and go any further than these bodies here. There's one there, and there's also one by this wall just there. Do not progress any further down here, otherwise he will shoot you, and this here marks the sort of edge of the map on the south side. As we continue to move east, we will then start to see other sort of units here, other factory units. So when you start seeing these big smoke ones, you start seeing these big factory units over here, the other sort of pillars here from the factory units, you're getting over to the east side of the map now, the far eastern point. There is here the old gas station. Typically there'll be a couple scavs outside, and if you see this green smoke here, it means that this is active and you can use it to extract. And then we're going to move over to the train yard point of the map. So right now we're moving through to the train yard section of customs. You can get into this warehouse here, this one here, and the one that's just a little bit further along, and you'll see these sort of crane units here in order to sort of pick off the... 1 second. So here then we are moving back towards the forest, which has the road that I was telling you about earlier that moves right the way across the map, and we are just south of that road right now. It's on the opposite side of this wall. This here that you can just see the roof of is the new gas building, and right now we're in the train yard. However, there is no way to cross to this side without performing a jump or by using a key. On this side over here, there is a jump that you can perform, which involves jumping up onto this car here, running and sprinting up onto and over this wall. This will then take you back onto the road. That there is the bus station that we were just looking at, and now we are crossing over towards the new gas building here. You can also get through here if you have a factory key on you, which you can use to unlock the door. Both sides, it does require 2 uses of the key, but it allows you to move through again onto this side. The only other way of crossing is by using this here dumpster, which you can use to vault over the wall again, like so, over onto this side. There is a roadblock here that sort of cuts off the sort of main road. However, you can use this heating pipe to quickly cross without needing to sort of go through the garage itself, because this is a bit of a scav spawn, and also the scav boss and his minions can spawn here as well, so just be aware of that as you come in through. Just to the north here, this here is the railroad to military base. In fact, that's the military base dome that you can see over there in the distance. If we were to travel west here, I would hit the dorms building, and if I was to go to the east, moving through the forest here, there is an area at the top that's known as substation. This here is substation. It's the only other thing that's in the forest here to the north. It has a couple loot spawns and such around it. Moving back down to the south, we are going to pick up the road again that's running east-west. Again, we're moving through the forest here, which is in the north section. All of this here is in the southern section of the map. So as we continue to move east along this main road here, again, more factory units here. This here is the sort of the far southeastern corner of the map. Again, forest on our left. This here is the UN roadblock, one of the sort of, I guess, early roadblocks that the UN tried to put in place in sort of the Tarkov lore side of things. There is a scav sniper that likes to spawn in this little tower here. Just be aware of that. It's also worth noting as well, sorry, that scav snipers can spawn along this building here. Be careful. Do watch out for them. They are absolute killers. Now, you can get around this roadblock either by going through this hole in the wall here. You can go around the back all the way around here. Or there is also a little hole here that you can crawl through by this barbed wire. Now when you see these 4 big containers here, you know that you are as far east as you can possibly go. This wall here is the boundary. There is a couple buildings here that you can get into with some really good loot. And then also these big smokestacks here that you can see along the bottom corner. They also mark sort of the boundary area here. Just running back this way very quickly to show you guys. Sort of, again, we're moving along the factory side of the map now. So forest is over there far to the north. We're moving back west for a minute. I'm just going to show you one of the other extracts. So if we jump this little fence here on the railway and have a look here, if this light is on, it means that this extract is available to take. You simply walk up to it, open it up, walk all the way down, and then extract here at this door. Be aware that there is barbed wire in the bushes here, and it will cut you up and do a little bit of damage if you do happen to walk through it. Now we're back now on the opposite side of this train yard, sort of back towards sort of new gas there. So what we're going to do is just follow this all the way around for a minute, back towards all of these different smokestacks that you see, to our final extract. Now customs is pretty easy because typically you'll spawn on one side of the map or the other. There aren't really many spawns close to the middle section. You know, where you have the options to sort of pick and choose. There are for scavs, certainly, but not really for PMCs. Typically on this map, if you spawn on one side, i.e. around here, in the factory units with the forest to the north of you, then you will need to cross the entire map to get towards the crossroads section or RUAF roadblock, something like that, in order to extract. I have to take my glasses off here at the end just to make sure that the camera focuses on me properly and not the background. So that makes it for the video, guys. Hopefully this helps someone. I'm actually playing with a bunch of new people right now, and it's a lot to take in when you're trying to learn the game, learn all the buttons, all the mechanics, and then also know your way around the map so you can extract properly. The last thing you want to be doing, especially if you're playing with a team of people, is have your teammate die and then you have no clue how to get out alive. So, hopefully this helps. I think Customs is a really easy map to get your head around, although bear in mind it does have a lot of PvP on it. It's not the easiest map to start off on, even though there are a lot of quests on there early on. That being said, it's really easy because the forest area is up in the north, you've got the factory units in the south, and everything kind of has like a very distinct landmark. So you've got like the construction area, you've got strongholds, you've got old gas, you've got new gas, you've got the train yard, there's the big red, sort of customs building, there's the dorms building and the substation. There's enough kind of information that you can quickly scan, to kind of tell you exactly where you are on the map. And if you are lost at all, just look for that main road, keep the forest to your right hand side if you want to move over to the west hand side, and keep the forest on your left hand side if you want to go over to sort of the east hand side of the map. That's the really easiest way of doing it. If you want to be a little bit more stealthy, just keep into the forest a little bit so you're not running open down the road so players can easily see you and shoot you. Keep into the trees a little bit and sort of move through. You will be okay. Take it low and slow if you have to, and ultimately you will get out alive and escape from Tarkov. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.